How's it going, guys? It's Mask here, and we've successfully collected 81 pieces of toast, which means we're good to go to try out this deck list that we have put together on the Discord channel. And I have a bunch of shoutouts to do to everyone who showed up and helped theorycraft how we're going to tackle level 40 Marik. Those are going to come at the end of the video. Make sure you catch those. We did it in the basically voice chat of the Discord channel, and some people were there in the text to help. But let's just go ahead and jump into the deck list and take a look at basically how we're doing it. Marik's big threats, obviously a 3300 monster. In order to deal with this, we're using Labyrinth Wall, buffed by Sorceress Spell Wall. Now, if you don't have Sorceress Spell Walls, or you only have one of them, you can always run 3 copies of the continuous spell card that also buffs your defense by 300. The nice synergy between Planet Pathfinder and Sorceress Spell Wall. Even if you draw Planet Pathfinder later in the game, you can always use it as further card draw if there's still a Sorceress Spell Wall left in your deck. We're running a ton of card draw and 2 Rains of Mercy. With this amount of card draw, I found that Rain of Mercy is enough to prevent us from dying from Shadow's game. So, pretty standard endgame that we've been seeing lately. Dimension Hole, Summoner of Illusions. Obviously, our extra deck is going to be Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And let's just jump straight into it. We got level 40 Marik. Cost 40 pieces of toast. Yeah, let's go. Masked Beast, Lava Golem. He's never going to get to summon Lava Golem against us because we're only going to have the Labyrinth Wall on the field. So you have to have 2 monsters on your side of the field for Lava Golem to be a threat whatsoever. His 3300 monster is not a threat the second we have a Sorceress Spell Wall on our side of the field. We're only running 4 copies to counter that beast because I figure it's not an immediate threat until at least turn 2 or 3, and I hope we're able to draw into one of those 4 cards by then. You may want to consider taking the Jar of Greed out, or I'm going to, after a bunch of playtesting, either take the Jar of Greed out and potentially add in a 3rd Sorceress Spell Wall or a 3rd Planet Pathfinder. That's going to increase the probability of countering that. You adjust these farm decks as you go, and as you fail, every time you fail, ask yourself, hey, why did I fail? What can I do to not fail, right? So obviously we're gonna start Planet Pathfinder here, grab our Sorceress Spell Wall out, and we're already golden. We cannot be killed this entire farm. You're already completely on lockdown. We'll keep Jar of Greed, good Goblin Housekeeping. Normally you don't want to throw Summoner of Illusions back into a deck, but it really doesn't matter here because we're running 3 copies of Good Goblin Housekeeping and no deck shuffle past this point. So the second Good Goblin Housekeeping pops off, we are guaranteeing what's going to be on the bottom of our deck. Jar of Greed, Good Goblin Housekeeping. I'm actually going to make sure I Jar of Greed first and separately. And Union Attack is a perfect card to be on the bottom of the deck, so that's good. Hold on to your Rain of Mercies for as long as possible to potentially achieve low life, kind of like the low-key dream in this and with this setup. Probably not going to happen. And we're running Rain of Mercies because we also kind of have to worry about Marik killing himself with Shadow's game as well. Otherwise, you could run like Supremacy Berry, but there's still the chance that if he gets too many tributes off, there's going to be too many monsters in his graveyard, and he can die in the time as well. The great thing about this, the fantastic thing about this, is we're basically running a quick draw deck as well. So during this event, it's going to be so easy to just rack up the points. You'll spend more time farming legendary duelists on like Dual Orb refreshes than anything else. Good Goblin Housekeeping. That's going to be draw 2, put 1 back. And we've guaranteed both or 2 of our bottom cards in the deck now, or things we don't care that are down there. And Storm is going to take care of a Nightmare Wheel that I hadn't mentioned yet. 500. Something we don't mind on the bottom. Union Attack, obviously. We can't use a Shard of Greed now because that would draw us right out, unfortunately. Planet Pathfinder. Is there another copy of Sorcerer's Spellwall still in my deck? There is. Cool. So we can rotate that Planet Pathfinder. Another thing I've been considering is holding on to it for low life, but in this deck, for right now, we're not going to even attempt to touch low life in this deck. It's just, there is no point. Make sure when you make that Planet Pathfinder play that there is indeed a field spell left in your deck, or that Planet Pathfinder gets stuck out there and then they'll kill you because of it. You'll die and lose. We'll set Dimension Hole. Just kind of being cautious here. We'll set Storm. Those are both settable. I just don't want to discard anything I need. There we go. Charge of Greed are useless. We're good. 800. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna have to pop at least one. So if you pop your Rain of Mercies one at a time, you can help set yourself up for low life. Like, you know exactly what his damage is gonna be to you. It's at the end of your turns, or the end of his turns. Like, I don't remember. I think it's at the end of your own turn. So we're gonna have the end of this turn and the end of the turn after that. So we're gonna take damage 2 more times. One Rain of Mercy we'll use. Well, we could wait till next turn to use it, but if we use this now, we're gonna take 900 damage 2 more times. 918. And actually, that'll put us right to low life. So you can manage low life pretty handily with this deck. Actually, if you just focus on using the Rain of Mercies only when you have to. And yeah, we're still waiting till the next turn. Shadows game. So the end of this turn, we take 900. And then the end of the following turn will take damage, and then win on the turn after that, and we're good. That's also low life. It's actually super easy to hit low life in this deck. Now that I think about it, if you're only running Rain of Mercies as a healing source, it is super easy to hit low life. And considering we didn't use 2 Shards of Greed, we also missed out on a ton of potential card draw. This went very handily. We'll set our Summoner of Illusions. It's being the second last turn. We're not storming. We're dimension holding it. So it still prevents him from being able to summon Lava Golem. And we're good to go straight to our last turn. There's the 1000 damage. Mask of the Remnants. Not going to do anything to us. And there we go. 400 life left. Dimension Hole is going to come down. Before I do... Actually, it doesn't really matter. I like to flip the Summoner first. Get out the Blue Eyes Ultimate. Then before you play, this is so important, before you play your Gravekeeper's Vassal, you need to use Storm, because Storm force activates Nightmare Wheel. If he has 2 Nightmare Wheels on the field, I mean, we could have stormed away a Rain of Mercy technically, but sometimes you're going to be stuck with only Storm and only the field spell down. And then he will force activate both of his Nightmare Wheels. And if you had Gravekeeper's Vassal down, to be perfectly honest with you, he's probably not going to focus your Gravekeeper's Vassal because he's going to prioritize the Blue Eyes Ultimate. But if you had activated Secret Pass and Union Attack on your Vassal, then there's a good chance he would have locked down your Vassal with Nightmare Wheel. I'm not about to do it wrong and to find out anytime soon because I want my free gold. I've already gotten 7,000 gold from one farm, I'm pretty sure. It was insane. Let's see here. Sorcerer's Spellwall for the points. Why not? We'll activate that. And there, we're good to go. Union Attack. Union Attack. 12,800 damage. And it still should be effect damage only, because the only damage he was taking was from his actual... If that doesn't count as effect damage, that's going to be so frustrating. Comeback Victory. Low LP. Cards in the Brink. Victory. Oh no, yeah, okay, good. So that is effect damage. That's wicked. So this deck is scoring 8,500. 2 super rare drops. We just got 2 Gilgarths. Let's go, baby. So Victory, and we had 700 points of Prismatic and Glossy. So this is that very, very standard 7,800 point farm. So easy to hit 8K. I mean, there's so many variants of draw in there. The Rain of Mercies, you probably got 200 points of, and if not, to be honest with you, you could swap out the Jar of Greed for 1 random playable Prismatic. So 7,800, that's phenomenal. We're gonna go run it one more time, without run straight into it, because that's I want to show at least two examples of every farm that I make from now on. It's a little harder with the roaming duelists, that I know, but shouldn't be a problem with this. This deck is gate events are just so much fun. Level 40 Marik. Still on Labyrinth Builder. Like I said, it's just gonna take after I've run this deck 10 or 11 or 12 times, then I'm gonna start making decisions like, do I need more than 4 answers defensively to our Labyrinth wall? Do we need a 3rd Sorcerer's Spell wall? Do we need 6? Do we need 3 Planet Pathfinders? Like until I actually lose because I did not draw into a Sorcerer's Spell wall or a Planet Pathfinder, I'm not gonna add any more answers to it. But it's gonna take a lot of playtesting to get to that point first. Yeah. So, as well as if you guys don't have Reign of Mercy, because that is an event drop card, you can of course just use like Dian Keto the Cure Master, or if you just drop the idea of low life altogether, you can replace Reign of Mercies with Solemn Wishes as well. That's gonna pump your life points way more than you're ever gonna need it. We can throw Union Attack back in, and Summoner of Illusions. We'll hold on to the Sorcerer's Spell wall, and I like the Planet Pathfinder because I can use it next turn as well, and it counts as card draw because it's going to pull the other Sorcerer's Spell wall to the deck, which is actually awesome. Right. And the really cool thing about Good Goblin Housekeeping is using Good Goblin Housekeeping, we can ensure that our extra Planet Pathfinders are going to allow us to draw Sorcerer's Spell wall, because we can rotate it back into the deck, onto the bottom of the deck using the Good Goblin Housekeeping as well, which is really cool. I don't need to anymore, but actually I will, because I do want to hold on to Summoner Illusions, and we can't bottom deck it because that would brick the farm. Already having 300 cards in my grave, or 4 cards in the graveyard at this point, is going to start really racking up the extra damage. That's another thing I've been playing around with, whether or not to rush all of your card draw, but I probably always would. The more cards you draw, the faster you're going to draw into more card draw. So realistically, we only used one of our Reign of Mercies in the last farm, so we have a whole extra 1,000 life to use in this one. Even if things start going south. Like, I kind of feel like they are right now. Not drawing into much card draw, we're taking a lot of damage. But this is it. It takes a bunch of playtests to figure out, do I need to put in more card draw? Do I have enough answers to the fact that I'm losing life so fast? And it's balancing out how many cards you're assigning to each thing you're trying to survive from your opponent, essentially. I'd say we're totally fine. This shard's gonna pop off. We're not too many turns away from this being over. And we have 2 Reign of Mercies available. 7's gonna drop to 5. Good Goblin Housekeepings will drop us to... this will drop us to 4, 3, 2, and then we'll naturally draw 1 actually, so that's it. We can put a Union Attack on the bottom. Then make sure when you don't chain your Good Goblin Housekeepings to each other, you're actually losing out on potential draw when you do that. Oh, for a second there I was like, oh, 1. Did I miscount? What did I do? Okay, so we have 7 cards in the grave. We're going to end this turn, and it's going to drop us. We actually don't need to use a single Reign of Mercy this game. Yeah, and that'll be 8 cards after I play the end game, and we don't even need to use a Reign of Mercy at all. Here I was worried about dying potentially this turn. We didn't even need healing whatsoever. It could be argued that you could take the healing rate out and just go for even more card draw to speed it up. Something I might playtest as this continues. Something I can set. Oh, I'm fine. No way, I need to discard too many things. Missed out on 2 Shards of Greed again. 1,000 damage. Holy smokes. The discards. I didn't take into consideration the cards I would have to discard after. I almost miscalculated that, but it's going to turn out we're going to land exactly on 100 LP and get the doubled up low life bonus instead. So take that into consideration. The cards you discard at the end of your turn are obviously going to be in your grave before he hits you with the Shadows game. We'll storm him out here. Gravekeeper's Vassal's gonna hit the ground. Secret Pass to the treasures. And yeah, we're good. I'll play that other Sorcerer's Spell Wall once again, just because it's glossy. And it actually buffs all your monsters too, not that we need the buff. Got double union and good. Let's see what this is. It should be comeback. Actually, this farm should base 8,300, which is insane. So we should actually score over 9K with our prismatics and glossies that we have in this deck. There it is, 9K on the nose. Oh, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 12. 12,000 gold in one farm. What? The actual... Dude, I'm telling you guys, I'm farming this Marik event until I'm at 30 million points. I'm farming over 1 million gold from this event. No problem. I'm so sick of being so gold broke that I can't buy anything in the card trader. Partly my fault, because I have 3 copies of almost every card in the trader, but that being said, they keep releasing cards that are worth more. 150,000 is the most expensive card in the trader now. How are we supposed to get that? But as you guys can see, this deck is working insanely well. It's definitely has room for improvement, like all decks do. And I'm also going to, for those of you who don't have Union Attack, I'm also going to work on a Union Attackless version of this deck. For now, obviously, this concept remains under that Labyrinth Builder roof, but we'll also work on a non-Labyrinth Builder version. Clearly that's going to be needed as well. And long-term goals in this event, although I wouldn't do this until after the double gold, Gate Keys and Gold probably ends. Obviously I want to work on a skillless farm, potentially for level 30, that we could perhaps farm legendary drop skills with, because although we finally got Last Gamble to drop, there are still many drop skills in this game that have eluded me. But yeah, big shout out. Like I said, I was going to shout people out from the Discord channel that helped us put this deck together. Thank you so much, Pong, The Scientist Ravy. I have Hi, I'm Flabber, one of the mods from the channel as well. We got Illusion, Komotho, one of our mods, and Joni49. And as well, I got a big shout out to Rocky Rash. Thanks for keeping it real.
Almost Australian.
And of course, guys, if you want to join in the Discord and help us make the next farming deck or the next batch of farming decks, help us out in the next event, we have a blast. The link to the Discord channel is going to be in the description down below the video. You can catch us live at twitch.tv/MasKScarin, and of course, links to the socials, Facebook and Twitter, are down below the video as well. Thanks for checking us out, guys. We'll be right back with hopefully right back after we farm some more toast, of course, with a level or a non-union version to this deck. And then we're going to be working on seeing if we can pull this off without using Labyrinth Builder. But as always, guys, stay classy.